following is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln and online at merealty.com.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning into Viewpoint on 96.3 FM WLCN. It is finally going to be a nice, warm Wednesday. So anyway, for the beginning of summer. Thanks for tuning in. Listener lines are open, 217-648-5510. We do welcome your calls, so please call in with your questions, kudos, whatever's on your mind, please do call in. Today we have with us in the studio Skylynn Howard of AfterLife Beauty. So thank you very much for coming into the studio. Greatly appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me.
Sure. You're from Elkhart. You're somewhat of a local, I guess. So.
Yeah.
But you grew up in Riverton. Tell us a little bit about your history.
I actually grew up in Riverton. I graduated from Auburn in 2016, and I've been living life ever since.
So where did you work at before what you're doing now? Kind of led into a little bit into what you're doing now. So tell us a little bit about your work history.
I actually, I have been working in healthcare for seven and a half years. And the last 3, I worked in hospice. And so I ended up having to become a stay-at-home mama. And so this is another way for me to give back to my patients and their families and still giving the love and caring nature to everybody else around the communities.
Wonderful. So tell us a little bit about it. If somebody wants to contact you, what is the process that you lead people through if they call up and say, hey, Dad's stone's not looking too good, or my aunt's stone's kind of dirty, or whatever? What's the process?
I normally ask what cemetery is it at, just because if it's a national cemetery, I can't touch it. That's federally owned. But if mom, dad, aunt want to get a hold of me, they usually just call me or send me a message on Facebook. And once they send me the cemetery, I can look it up on Find a Grave, and I just need the name, the last name, and passing date.
So if they cannot recall where exactly the grave is at, then you can locate it pretty good then.
Yeah, if especially if the pictures are on the Find a Grave website, it's a lot easier.
So, what have you seen? Is there a lot of moss in some of these stones? What are people finding and calling you to go and take care of?
More so the mold. So on certain headstones, like a lot of the marble headstones where the names are engraved or like sketched in, normally that material isn't like glossed over, and so a lot of like the mold and the moss tend to attach to those parts of the headstone. And so those are primarily the reasons why they give me a call, because it doesn't look as good as it used to.
Now, I don't mean to put you on the spot, so if you don't know it, it just popped into my head. These newer stones, nowadays, I guess you can say, do they put like a sealant on them to kind of help combat that or not? Do you know? I don't know, and I didn't mean to put you on the spot if you don't know.
No, I don't know. I just know that they could be kind of like glossy, so I don't know if they put
like a protective coat or something on there.
Yeah.
Then. That's what I was wondering. If you find a stone that needs, you don't do repairs, I guess you can say, or restorations, or are you going to start leading into that possibly, or not? What you're just starting out with the cleaning, but what have you found, or what would you like to go into with this?
I'm starting to learn. I would like to start to learn how to repaint the letters inside of the headstones. It's a fairly easy process, and so might as well learn something else and help some more as much as I can.
But then some of these older, like the World Wars, 1 and 2. I mean, these stones are some really Civil War stones. Oh my goodness. Is there some that you won't touch, or what are you thinking about for those older stones then?
Well, with those older stones, they're made out of limestone, and so it's a completely different material from the marble that today's headstones are made out of. And so the limestone is a lot softer material than the marble itself. But I don't mind the challenge, but I'm also going to be upfront if I'm not going to keep scrubbing it because I don't want to ruin it. By any means, I'll do the best I can.
Yeah. What questions do you have?
Well, I remember the activity directors at the Atlanta Library had Caitlin Abrams come for a seminar there. I think she's Manic Pixie Mom on TikTok, who does a similar type of thing. And I was wondering, is there any sort of a network of you folks that clean gravestones that you, or a Facebook group or something where you say, hey, look at this project, or maybe, hey, I've got this stone that I'm not sure how to attack, and get some input from others who do what you do?
Actually, no. I don't know anybody else besides like big companies who do it.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't know that there was anybody else around here who does it.
I think she was actually from the East Coast, if I remember right.
Yeah.
But she came in from put on like a seminar at the library or museum. I think it was 2022.
Oh.
But another thing, you were talking about the older headstones being made of limestone and versus the marble. Does that change your, like, how you approach cleaning it? Do you have to use different chemicals or softer scrub brushes or anything like that?
I use the only two products that I use is Dawn dish soap and a product called D2. It's a natural biological solution, and it works amazing on the headstones. Arlington National Cemetery actually uses the same product as well.
Okay.
I always use brushes, soft brushes. I'd never use pressure washers.
And again, going back, just because this is the only other person I know who does this, I remember when Caitlin Abrams, we interviewed her on the phone, and she said, in addition to cleaning the headstone, she tries to do sort of some background genealogical research or find out the story of the person whose headstone she's cleaning. Do you do any kind of that research or looking into it, or are you just strictly attacking the headstone and making it look good?
I do sometimes. Actually, there was one that I cleaned the other day. It was a limestone headstone. The lady passed in 1850.
Oh, wow.
And her name was Alice, and she was gorgeous. That's the first time I actually looked, deep dove into it. So now I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool.
Neat. That is neat. I mean, there's a lot of rich history, you know, in our cemeteries. And years ago, I don't know if you guys remember this, and even for our listeners, please call in and correct me. Was it the Courier teamed up with maybe the Historical Society of Logan County? They did some cemetery walks.
Cemetery walk, yeah.
Yes, and they went through and did some educational pieces, but that was in the 2000s, or was that before 1990s or something like that? And again, if our listeners are listening, please correct me. I'm asking for correction.
2010.
Or 2010, something like that. But I know they did do.
Mike Fack did one, I remember.
That's right. Mike Fack did a cemetery walk. So yeah, those are really, really neat of our local area cemeteries that they did. So.
You know, people dress up and sort of tell the story of the person.
That's right. They did. They dressed up in
yeah.
period time.
Oh, that's fun.
Yes. Yeah. They did. So if anybody's listening, want to do that again, there's my plug. Please bring that back.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
anyway.
Absolutely. So, are you thinking of expanding as far as, like, I don't know what else you could do other than clean a headstone or gravestone, other than maybe doing, like I said, the genealogical research behind the person? Is there, or is this pretty much as far as you think you're taking things business-wise?
Actually, no. I've been thinking of a couple more ideas once I hopefully get bigger around here. I'd like to offer, placing different memorial pieces on the grave sites for like birthdays, anniversaries, Veterans Days, and everything. So it's in the works. I'm still kind of balancing everything out.
Sure.
Well, there's people that have moved away. And their loved ones are buried here. So that's a wonderful. Thank you, Mabel. Mabel had to give her 2 cents to everyone. So anyway, she hit the bell. She agrees. But no, that's a great service to offer to people. I can't, or even like a shut-in, and they want to go put, have a piece, arrangement on that stone, on that graveside there. So that's a neat, service to offer to people to call you up. So, well, we're going to take a commercial break. Thanks to Mabel, she's ready to punch the computer there. So anyway, when we return, we'll be back with Skylynn Howard.
Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com.
Touchdown! Oh, did you see that? Whoa, we scored?
Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs.
I can't believe I missed that.
Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone.
What? I should take your phone away.
No. I'll call for a ride.
Hey, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine.
I'm gonna need that back.
No.
Kevin!
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln.
Worried about your friend, but don't know how to reach out?
You could say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat with them in VR, it's all good. If you think you should check in, yeah, you should. Whatever gets you talking.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health.
Whatever gets you talking.
Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Full Gospel Evangelistic Center makes an impact locally and beyond through a wide range of events, ministries, and outreaches. Pastors Steve and Debbie Owens invite you to worship Sunday mornings at 10:30 and attend Wednesday night Bible studies at 6:30. Connect with FGEC online, follow them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln.
back to Viewpoint on 96.3 FM WLCN. Again, listener lines are open, 217-648-5510. We have Skylynn Howard from AfterLife Beauty with us today, talking about cleaning headstones and the history of headstones and genealogy, I should say, sorry. Everything is with it. You mentioned before we went for commercial break about the cleaning process with the D2 product. So is there just one process of cleaning a stone or not? Explain that to us.
There's actually, you can do it a couple different ways. How I do it, I just spray the D2 on with just like a handheld sprayer, and then I let it sit on for 10 to 15 minutes. And then I'll spray it again, and then I'll start scrubbing it. Mm-hmm. Or you can spray the stone with water first, and then spray the D2 on it, and then scrub it. The water kind of dilutes it a little bit, so it's not going to be, that's like full strength. Some people spray it and then spray water on it as they go to help clean it. And so that's about the 3 ways that I know of doing it, but everybody has their own little way of doing
things. So. Mm-hmm. So speaking of water, you got to haul supplies and everything out there, to the grave site. The temperatures. So what temperatures do you like to work in, or what temperatures do not? Obviously, the products do work or do not work well in when you go out to clean. So,
for the product, so it doesn't say like freeze, because this is our first year doing it. But 45 degrees and higher is pretty much what I'm comfortable with going.
Does it matter if the stone is actually, really, really cold too, or not? Or have you found that out? People, from talking to others and doing your research, does the stone kind of need to be, I guess I could say lukewarm, maybe, not freezing cold, to be cleaned or not? Or does that even maybe factor into the process at all?
I'm not sure yet.
Oh, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. No. So, yeah.
No, it's okay. It's a learning process, so I really don't know. It's something that I can look more into.
Right, no problem.
Mm-hmm. So how long have you been doing, or what was your first stone that you cleaned, or do you have any particular stones that have a particular story behind them, or that were particularly challenging, or anything like that?
There's a couple that stand out in my mind. I love all of them, but there was my first stone I ever did. Her name was Maria. She was unfortunately 9 months old when she passed away.
Aww.
And her headstone is up in Elkhart Cemetery, and that was my first headstone I've cleaned. And so once in a while I'll go out there and put a little stuffed animal on her headstone.
Oh, neat.
Just because.
Yeah. Pay tribute. That's neat. And again, folks, everyone, you got to start somewhere. Mm-hmm. And I think this is wonderful. And I believe you got the idea from TikTok. I know some people kind of poo-poo the idea of TikTok, but there's a lot of businesses that advertise, get their start, get their following, et cetera, on TikTok. So tell us a little bit, what piqued your interest to go into actually doing this?
Honestly, I thought it was satisfying just watching all the stuff come off of the headstones. And so I was like, you know what? I mean, it can't be that difficult, and it's a way for me to get out of the house and just take a breath for a little bit.
Neat. And start your own business. And like you said, giving back. You were, working in the hospice field of healthcare. So, that connection,
I love
like
it.
you said, so with individuals. How far will you travel? Does it depend on the case-by-case basis, or possibly, depending on if you get more than one stone for that cemetery to be there?
Right now I travel around where I'm located. I'm located out of Elkhart, so around 90 miles circle. But if there is a cemetery that's farther than that, and there's like a bunch of them that people want to get done, I'll go down and travel down. And I'll spend the whole day down there and get them all cleaned up, look nice again.
Neat.
if folks are interested in talking to you about utilizing your services, is there a phone number, or do you have a Facebook page or email? What's the best way of getting in contact with you?
Yeah, I have a Facebook page. It's called AfterLife Beauty on Facebook, and then my phone number is 217-671-7414, and you can give me a call or a text anytime.
And she's been posting photos of before and after on her Facebook, and that's what I used in our ad for her for today. So it looks really, neat. I mean, it's a great service.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
No, very proud of you. I mean, this is something that is much needed. It really, really is. And like you said, too, I want to remind folks what you said. You would like to, look into if somebody's got, a loved one that needs flowers and they're not able to make it to the gravestone to do that, to the site. They can contact you to do that, too, and work that out with them, correct?
Yeah, and I would like to make my own
Arrangements?
Yeah,
Neat.
my own arrangements, and just go out and place them out there.
Oh, that's wonderful. So neat. So,
Is there, I'm not quite sure how to ask this, so actually you ask a question, I'll ask mine next. I'm trying to think of the right way to phrase it.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So you ask
So I'm
yours
up.
while I'm thinking.
Well, you did mention you are unable to go to like Camp Butler. So if someone does call you up, you just how do you direct those folks? When they do say, they're at a national cemetery. How does someone go out and reach? If their loved one is at a national cemetery and that grave does need some attention. What's the process for them, or how do you direct them for that?
I would tell them that they need to contact the cemetery themselves, because they have more contacts, that, or you can get a hold of the VA too, I believe, and they can help you as well.
Okay, neat.
Okay. So have you been on site cleaning a headstone, and maybe someone's wandered by and like, hey, you shouldn't be doing that, or what are you doing there, or anything like that? Or do people, have you had folks come up and watch and be interested and ask questions, or has there been any kind of reaction?
Well, I don't
you've
think the
gotten in
foot
person?
traffic is,
Well, you never know.
a lot at a cemetery.
Well, that's why I'm asking to find out.
But there was actually one time a lady came up to me. I think she was just taking down the old decorations and putting up new. And so I was cleaning. Actually, it was my first headstone I was cleaning. And she goes, are you doing okay? I was like, yeah, I'm just cleaning the headstone. And we went in this long conversation for 30 minutes and telling her what I was doing and whatnot. She's like, okay, well, I'll look into you then.
That's neat.
I just thought maybe someone might walk up and, different people think different things, like, hey, you shouldn't be defacing that stone.
Knock on wood.
So.
You need to have a caution sign out, I'm cleaning. So anyway.
I'll make a t-shirt.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to ask, how do you get the word out about your business? I mean, obviously, social media is a big way to
she
do
has
it.
us.
Well, and of course,
us.
other than us. But I mean, it's kind of a very
It's a unique
niche.
It's a niche
market kind of
it
a
is.
place. I mean, have you gone to maybe funeral homes or cemetery? I don't know if they have boards of directors that oversee them to let them know, hey, I'm here and I'm willing to do this. Or
I actually I've taken flyers to funeral homes, just because families don't know who to contact, and cemeteries just telling them that, okay, here's, these monument companies who do them, but as me, it's the only small business who does do it around here.
Right. And not a lot of monument companies will, go out and I guess you can say service the stone. I guess that's a proper terminology, after the fact, and it may be 10 years down the road, since that stone's been placed. So this is a great service that she has, to come in. So I think it's awesome. I love it. I really, really do. I think it's great. So keep asking questions. You're doing good.
have you approached a monument company maybe? I mean, because I would think if someone needed a headstone cleaned, maybe for a monument company to send out a worker and everything, that might not be in their, like, from a
The
cost.
wheelhouse to do that.
Yeah, and they may not have the chemicals on site or whatever to clean it. I don't know Have you thought of partnering with any monument companies or approached any of them at all?
I actually am partnered with a Springfield Monument. Their sister facilities is Petersburg and Rochester.
Oh, neat.
And so I'm in contact with them, and I've been doing a couple of their cleanings that they need done.
That's wonderful.
And so it's amazing.
Yeah, and I'm thinking of other places that have not necessarily headstones, but other types of monument. Like I know on the way into Lincoln and some other towns, sometimes there are some granite signage, welcome to Lincoln or whatever. I don't know if they have city workers that do that kind of cleaning, or if they might be interested in something like that.
I mean, I'll do it.
All yours. That's great.
Let me take down my notes.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I think that's wonderful. And like you said, you're possibly looking into, to filling in the ink lettering, that needs to be. So are you starting to see, I like to take walks in cemeteries because of the history, but then also too, it is great exercise. You don't have a dog loose out of a backyard, barking at you, or the traffic, and you can actually focus and, just walk and enjoy your walk. I have noticed on some of these stones now they're putting pictures, an actual photo, in that. Are you starting to see that now with your work, with your line of work, or what are you starting to see the trend, I guess you can say, of what the stones are starting to look like?
Right now I haven't really noticed a whole lot of trends just because I don't see a lot of like newer stones. But it's more so like the I don't know, I want to say like an average size stone. There's a couple that I've seen who have like cars on them, like an Oldsmobile. But I haven't seen like a picture of like a face yet. But
they're starting to pop up. I've seen. I don't know if you've seen those too or what. But
yeah, but I mean, since they are newer, they probably are still in pretty decent shape. So how do you determine, from the business standpoint, how do you determine how much you're going to charge for a cleaning? Is it based on the size of the headstone, the age of the headstone?
And you don't have to give specifics.
The condition of the headstone.
Roundabout, like how do you come up with a charge?
All those factors.
I charge one set price. Unless it's limestone. If it's a limestone headstone, I do an upcharge, and just because I have to go out there multiple times to clean it.
So it's a longer process to do the limestone then, because it's so porous. Then
it's like sand.
And so, how many on an average limestone headstone? How many trips or cleanings or whatever does it take you to get it to a place where you're satisfied that it looks decent?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I just did my first 2 limestones last week, and so I let them take a rest for a little bit, and then I plan on going back out in a couple weeks.
And then everything else, is it pretty much just a one trip, go clean it? And
unless I see something else,
it's
like
pretty bad probably. Yeah, depending on what it looks like, I bet, until you go out there. So
have you ever thought of doing, like we were looking in the break at some TikTok videos, have you ever thought of doing like a sort of a demonstration of what you do or what you found or
she did on her Facebook.
Okay.
See, I lovingly checked her out on Facebook.
I have a TikTok page as well for my business, so it's pretty satisfying.
I think it's really neat.
Yeah, very cool.
So, Jim, you got any? I know you got the headphones on there listening. Any questions that came to your mind that you have?
Well, I was just going to ask you how you all got started. I mean, this was something you saw it on TikTok, right? And you thought, hey, this would be a good idea? Or and that's all there was to it, huh?
And that's history,
And that's how a lot of businesses do start. Like I said, they see it and that sparks your interest. You didn't think of, doing that. If you ever watch Shark Tank, they're interviewing them on Shark Tank and they ask them, how did you think of this? I don't know. I thought of it, just came to my head or saw it on there.
Research, find out how you clean them.
Oh yeah, after I was like, it looks interesting, so I Google everything that I needed and how to do it, and
started studying. And
I can't tell you how long I've searched the internet for to figure out everything, but
that's neat.
Slowly but surely it's coming along.
Well, I'm proud of you. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Maybe another place that maybe, like, I know there's the Logan County Genealogical Society, or there's different historical societies that they might be interested in hearing your story and
hearing her story and then getting her name out, because a lot of folks have moved away, like I said, or just contact them going, I don't know what to do. Maybe it was circling back the historical site that did do our cemetery walks. So I know I'm plugging that. I think they need to bring it back. They do. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was fun. So anyway,
make it happen. I
brought the Route 66 garage sale idea for you guys, and I'm probably in trouble for that. But anyway, Skylynn, thank you for coming here. Again, if folks want to get a hold of you, what do you truly recommend for them to get a hold of you?
A phone call or text message is the easiest.
And what's your number for them to call you? Or
217-671-7414.
Well, thank you so much for coming out here. We greatly appreciate it. And folks, we'll have some more information on our Facebook page and whatnot, but please get a hold of Skylynn Howard and for your cleaning needs of your headstones. So, again, the Lord weather willing, we'll be back next week.
This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln and online at merealty.com. The preceding program is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.